What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for tuning in on today's video. Today, as you can see, we are working on the race truck. We are getting a couple of things buttoned up, and then I'm going to show you guys what we're doing to the actual truck. We're waiting on a set of heads from Kill Devil Diesel, so we're starting to get a little carried away with the truck, and so I'm going to go over what we're doing there. But first things first, let's go over this beautiful piece here and talk about that a little bit. So this oil pan is a custom oil pan that was made by, I believe, Moroso. As you can see, the sticker there. They don't actually make these anymore, from what I could find. I didn't see these anywhere. I couldn't find these anywhere anyways. And so, yeah, we were fortunate enough to be able to pick one of these up. It is an extra deep oil pan. It does have some baffling inside of here. It has a custom oil pickup. Obviously, it's aluminum. It's got the fins up here, so the heat dissipation is fantastic. And then obviously with the extra capacity, we should be satisfying all of our oil needs. We did have a bung welded in here, so if we ever do compounds or for any reason we ever need an extra drain, we will have the extra drain here. I kind of screwed up here. So obviously this flange here is a lot thicker than your factory oil pan. These smaller bolts seem to be okay, but the longer ones definitely needed to be longer. So we got some hodgepodge deal going on here with some of these longer bolts, which we're going to fix that. We'll make them all right. I think I might even switch these shorter ones out to a nicer bolt anyways. But so you can see we got 3 long ones in the front here. Right now they're Allen. And then we got 2 long ones in the back. One is an 8mm head and one is an Allen. There's 6mm thread. I picked up longer ones, but these are too long except for the one hole. It accepted it in this one hole right there, so the 40mm length is okay. But these are your factory length ones, and these will not work. But that officially seals up the bottom end of the race truck engine. So I'm pretty excited here. Let's go ahead and roll this thing back over. Okay, so there it is. You can see how much how much bigger this oil pan is. It's ridiculous. Really freaking cool. It's probably going to be a pain in the butt to get the engine in and out, up and over that cross member. But yeah, we're gonna cross that bridge when we get there. But yeah, like I said, we're waiting on a set of our Icon Series cylinder heads from KDD. The last time that I talked to anybody at KDD, it sounded like we might not even see them this year. They said they were still fulfilling orders from July of last year of 2020. And our order was 2021. Our order was in November of 2021. So, yeah, I'm not sure if we're going to even see a set of heads. So, unfortunately, the race truck will not be up and running this year, but that's not going to stop us. So, this is pretty much as far as we can go with our engine at this point. So, we're basically just going to bag this thing up. I really needed to get that oil pan on there. That way we could seal up the bottom end. So, now that that is sealed up, we really only have a couple of ports here, our IPR, this port here, and everything else. I mean, you know, we got this stuff taped off here for where our heads are going to go, but everything is pretty much sealed up. So we're going to bag this thing up really well and yeah, push it into the corner. So let's talk about our chassis here. So you can see we've been doing a little bit of work. It's a real tedious job what we've been doing, so I haven't really done much recording, but I'm going to go over kind of what we did. So you can see here, this is our outer fender skin. We actually have, so our fender is back there. So the fender actually bolts to this portion here. That same thing with our hood strut. All bolts here. But what we did is we ended up drilling out all of our pinch welds for the inner skin. So normally there would be a piece here. And we did that on both sides. And we got that pulled off of there, which you will see right here. So we got both of those pulled off. Not much weight there. Not much weight at all. You can see our heater box is gone. And we've also pulled out all of our windshield wiper stuff up here as well. Inner fender is gone over here. So we will have to, now your PCM mounts to, should be pretty easy because it mounts to here. So there's actually already a mounting hole. So we'll just have a couple brackets to mount our PCM bracket. So we have our PCM bracket that goes on the inside of this fender piece. So it's going to go right there. So we just got to mount something for over in the corner there. So that'll be pretty easy. This bracket here houses our fuse box, our bigger fuse box right here. So we'll make a couple of custom brackets for that, use some of our holes that we have drilled for our spot welds, and we'll bolt that on here as well. We'll mount that up so that we can mount all of our wiring stuff back up to it. You can see we've got this harness here. This is the harness that actually goes across the cowl there. We've eliminated all the wires that we don't need out of it. So basically all we have now is our map sensor, which we might even eliminate that and mount our map sensor in a different location. So we might eliminate out of this loom. Same thing with this starter wire. Again, we might unravel that and you know, have it route it a different direction so it's not going over the cowl. We do have our ABS wire for our passenger side. Really no getting away with that one because it's got to get to the passenger side. And then finally down here we've got our headlights, which what I'm thinking I'm going to do for the headlights is do a connector somewhere in here. That way, if I ever have to pull the front clip off, I just have to undo the big connector here instead of doing each individual one down here. Just undo it right here. So I'm kind of thinking of doing that. Same thing with on this side. So it'll be one giant connector wherever the headlights are. They are somewhere around here. Down here. So same thing with our headlight assembly. We'll go to one big connector there. Let's go over some of the things we've eliminated. So here is our wiper motor, wiper assembly. That's got some pretty good weight to it. It's got some pretty good weight. We have our power steering cooler. That's what this piece is. We're going to be eliminating that. That's going to be really simple. All we really need to do is extend this hose and possibly this hose, and then we'll mount the power steering reservoir over here up out of the way. So that should be pretty simple there. Our ABS module. Okay, now this sucker's pretty heavy. That has some weight to it. So yeah, we're going to be eliminating ABS. You can see I've got all the brake lines with it as well. The only thing we might be keeping is this is the actual electronics for the ABS. That way we still have like the speedometer working and everything like that. And obviously we still want, it'll be able to read wheel speed from our front tires and our rear tires and everything like that. But this just unbolts. And so we'll still have the electronic mechanism at least. But the actual module here, this pump and everything, will be gone. To eliminate that is actually pretty simple. So this is the hose, or this is the brake line that goes to the rear of the truck. So we're basically just going to modify this and then just have it go directly into here. So super simple there. And then for this one, we're going to have a line come off of that. It'll come off of that and then come down here in this vicinity, and we'll have a T so that we can feed our 2 brake calipers up front here. So it'll go that way, and then it'll go in the factory location, clip into there, and then it will just simply go into our brake hose on the passenger side. So pretty simple as far as that goes. Got to get a couple of pieces for that, no big deal. You can see we removed our shielding on our firewall, so that is removed. And then here is our inner fenders. Again, not much weight there, but I guess every little bit counts. And then we have our 2 windshield wipers as well. Probably the biggest thing is this contraption here. So this is your, I guess your core support is what you would call it. And so it mounts your front header panel, connects to your fenders. It's got the crossbar that goes across up top here. It mounts down to the frame where the cab bushings are. And then it houses all of your intercooler and your radiator, and then everything bolts to it. So this is heavy. This has some pretty decent weight to it. We should be able to make something that is going to be quite a bit lighter than that. My game plan for doing this is I'd really like to have the fenders, headlights, header panel, and other fender all remove as one piece and one unit. Basically, you would undo a couple of things here and back there, and then a couple of bolts up front here, a couple of electrical connectors. Obviously, the stuff over there on that side would be the same as this side, and then that whole assembly would come off, and you would be left with basically what you see here. Obviously with an engine, intercooler, radiator, fans, and everything up front here as well. So that's kind of my goal. The hood, we're going to be going to a fiberglass hood, which is just going to be, quarter turn or push pin deals. And we'll just pop that off and set it right on top just like that to get the hood out of the way. And then for the structure here that's gonna mount to our cab bushings, that same structure is gonna be, we're gonna build it around these. So I'm gonna build some brackets to house all of this stuff, including our electric fans and everything. Well, our fans are connected here. So it's gonna house both of these units as well as our oil cooler and filter setup that we ran on this truck. All of that is going to be contained and built around this setup, so that in the event that we need to pull the engine out, we basically just undo, boom, boom, and then that whole assembly can come out. And then we're looking at the front of the engine. The whole idea behind this is to make it very easy to work on. Have tons of room, be very easy to just remove a bunch of stuff really fast, and be able to get right to the engine. The next goal would be, the reason we're building brackets around this to set in there is so that we can run the truck in this type of shape. So we can have the engine, our coolers in there, all the electronics are plugged in, ready to go, and we can fire the truck up without grill, headlights, fenders on the truck. So that way we can, we can stand right here and reach and touch the valve cover. You know, just be super, super easy to work on and to get to things. Same thing on this side. You know, there's definitely more stuff in the way here, but it'll still be ridiculously easy to get in here and work on stuff. So that is our biggest goal. So moving forward, what we're going to be end up doing is we're going to paint this inner fender black and the outside of the skin. We're going to paint all of that black. We're going to get a piece of aluminum to cover up all of this. We're going to be painting all of the firewall black. We're going to cut all these off. Obviously, we got to leave these ones. That's actually holding your pedal, but like this one we can cut off. This one we can cut off. So there's a bunch of those that we can cut off here, and then we are going to be removing the shielding from underneath here as well, so there should be some weight there. And yeah, we're going to paint the whole firewall black. You can see I've made a slight modification here to hopefully give us a little bit more room with getting the engine in and out. We are going to be welding this back together at some point, welding all that back up, and we're going to be putting our our plastic cowl pieces back on as well, so it still has a factory style look to it. But yeah, of course we're going to be cleaning up the frame up here as well. This front section of the frame, we're going to clean this up really, really well and paint it. And then if we get really carried away, we might even go as far as eliminating the shock and the spring here and going to like a coilover setup. So basically this whole bracket would be gone, the shock, the spring, all of that would be gone, and we would just have a bar come out of here to mount a coil spring, adjustable coil spring setup, which would be, again, a lot lighter. And then finally, the other thing I was thinking is possibly cutting back our frame. So we could technically go back all the way to here and literally chop it there and there, and then just have some bracketry come out to support our bumper in the same spot. We've got a fiberglass front bumper, which we've already had on here before, but that would be the other thing. I would imagine this chunk of frame has some decent weight to it. So weight is free speed. If we can get this sucker under 5,000 pounds, that would be fantastic. We've got some weight reduction to do in the rear of this thing as well, but really trying to focus on the front of this. So we might end up sticking the engine in here with a set of, you know, iron heads on it, just for mock-up purpose, so that we can get an intake manifold on, so that we can mount our intercooler and radiator and get all of that set up and the bracketry built for that. We might end up doing something like that. I also am kind of really curious to see how bad it's going to be trying to get that engine in and out. So we might mess with that a little bit as well. But yeah, if you guys have if you guys have any ideas, if I'm missing something, please, you know, drop a comment down below, and definitely be glad to explore some different things, different ideas. So yeah, thanks guys for tuning in. Sorry there wasn't a whole lot of action going on today, but at least you guys get an update and kind of see a little bit more of the engine going together. So thanks for tuning in. Catch you guys in the next one.